Hi. Considering the previous example, now we're going to use these variables and attributes. The idea, for instance, is that we would like to know how much time, for instance, a part spent in B2, B3, and B4, for instance. The moment we cannot know that, it's impossible either if we look at the report. It's impossible to really know because the most of the times are probabilistic. So I really want to know how long a part is spent in each buffer. So for that, we're going to create an attribute and a variable. So the first thing that we need to do is to create an attribute that will capture the time when a part arrived into the different buffers. So if we go here to data, we will see all these possibilities, and we see this attribute possibles. So here we have the integer and the real. I'm going to use the real, so then I can have more real values. So basically, I'm going to just drag and drop this here. And then I'm going to create three variables, basically, which are going to be real as well. So we have var real, so I'm going to create three variables which are basically going to be the time that a part is spent here. So if we use the same example, and if, of course, if you read all the information, basically the first attribute is going to be named attr. This is going to remember that this is an attribute. A1 time n. Then this second variable is going to be named var. So then you can see that var is because it's a variable. Var delta t b2 var delta 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 t b3, and then we have var delta t b4. Of course, I can clone them as well as we did before, so then we can really speed up this little bit. That's basically all. So basically what I'm going to do is that whenever a part arrives to every buffer, I'm going to include the time when they arrive to this attribute. So I'm going to right click here, and then in here, of course, I can use this element function here. So then I can reuse the name, so then I can avoid making mistakes. So here is the attribute, so input rule. So here is double click here, appears immediately. I'm going to assign the time, then I validate it. And I'm going to do that everywhere in every buffer input rule. So B3, action on input, and then B4, action on input. Then what I'm going to do is that every variable is going to have the difference. So if a part, for instance, arrives at the minute 5, and then you spend 10 minutes in a place, then you want to know how long have you spent there, right? So of course, what I need to do is that I need to know what time is it. For instance, right now it will be 15 minus the time when you arrive, which is 5. So totally will be 10. Because this is probabilistic, it's difficult to know that particular value in advance. So that's why I need to create those formulas. So in B2, in action and output, what I'm going to do is that the variable time var delta t B2 is going to be equal to the time minus the attribute. So that is the current time minus the time when you arrive. The difference will let me know exactly how long a part stay here. And of course, conveniently, I use this notation, so then I can quickly copy paste this. This is B3. When we stay here, it's changed. Okay, so it's a different name. Going to here, that one, and before I'm going to. Sometimes eventually we make mistake how we write it. So this is before. Now you see that I made a mistake when I wrote it. So I can update the name actually here. For instance, this is delta. This is delta. And so then you will see that all of this is updated. So now I want to run the model, and I want to see how long every part is in every buffer. So It's a bit bigger. I'm going to close this so that I can use more about the layout of the model. I'm going to close this as well. So I'm going to make it bigger. So then I'm going to run this. So I can see now in real time how long every part is spending in each buffer. So try to do the same, for instance, for how long a part is spent in M2, M3, and M4 by creating different variables. For instance, a bar delta T M1, M2, M3, M4. Also, you can do the same for C1, C2, and C3, and also for M5. So try to replicate the same example so then you can create more variables using this good example of using attributes. Of course, don't forget to save your model. This is very important. So I'm going to save this like A3B. So I really hope that you have enjoyed this session. Any question as well, don't forget to send us an email, and we are here to support you in anything that you want. Thank you.